Hey everybody, it's Lindsey with the Action Hour, and I am so excited to show you who is here with me today. We have the organizers and the celebrity host of NARD. Let me bring these ladies on camera. Ladies, welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Excited
for having us.
Thank you so much for having us, Lindsey.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Kim, I want to start with you because I think you've been involved with NARD longer than anybody. And I wanted to ask you about what is NARD? For people that don't know, Kim, tell us, what is NARD?
Okay, well, thank you. NARD is NARD, stands for National Animal Rights Day. It's an event put on by the nonprofit called Our Planet, Theirs Too. And it's been going, this year's our 10th year. And so we're calling it Nardx, X being the Roman numeral for 10. And it is an event that happens every year, once a year, all around the world in different locations. And it's in recent years, it's always been on the first Sunday of June. So this year it's next Sunday, June 7th. And it's a memorial for the animals. It's an appreciation for the billions and billions of animals that die every year at the hands of us humans. And we just want to appreciate animals, and we have a beautiful moving ceremony and music and speakers. Afterwards, we have a nice little celebration with food and speakers and more entertainment. And we have a burial for the animals, and it's just very moving. Thank you.
That's amazing. So Kim, you also work with Vegan Outreach, is that correct?
Yes, I'm new with Vegan Outreach. Yes, so I'm excited about that. I've been helping them out with some, obviously right now these days in COVID times, there's not a whole lot going on, but I've been helping them out at some food events. We're giving out food to people, families in need. Not homeless people, but families in need.
That's awesome.
All vegan food, of course.
Of course, we've got to get the word out. And Kristina, this is Kristina Ku. Now, Kristina is a bilingual attorney, and she speaks both Mandarin and English, and she's a public interest attorney. And I know you've been involved with NARD forever, Kristina, also. But can you tell me just for a moment what a public interest attorney is?
Yeah, so my passion to get into law was really to help people who didn't have access to legal help. And fortunately, this country has funding to help support organizations, nonprofit law groups that will have attorneys, paralegals, everyone, on salary. And we help those who don't get access to legal help and who don't have the funds and the financial support to, fight cases and stand up for their rights. And these are indigent folks, and a lot of times they're disabled, and even monolingual clients who only speak a certain language. And there are attorneys who speak different languages all over the world. And so we're just committed to social justice issues.
Wow, that's really incredible. So that's a great answer for people say, oh, you only care about the animals, because you are about compassion and human rights and non-human rights as well, which is amazing. Let's talk to our host next. We have Jane Elizabeth, who is also my fellow anchor here on Jane Unchained. How are you doing? Thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much for having me on, Lindsey. This is such an honor, and I really appreciate you making the time to make this happen today. So thank you so much. And yeah, it's great to be here actually on the other side and be the interviewee instead of the interviewer. So thank you for that as well. So this year, NARD, I'm just super excited to be a part of it because this organization has done so much in the 10 years that it's been in existence. So this is something that started as just an idea and has grown into a global animal rights movement. So that is nothing short of amazing for anybody who knows how difficult it is to stand up for what's right, even if you stand alone. You understand how hard it is to do something like this and to really, be that voice for the voiceless. And I'm just really happy to be a part of it this year. So, and really happy to participate and to do whatever I can to help the animals, honestly.
Wow, that's amazing. And then we have Annalisa here. Let me bring you up here.
Hi.
Annalisa.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing tonight? I'm so pleased to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you too. Yeah, we were connected, but it's the first time that we get to talk and live.
I know that. And you are one of the organizers. In fact, Kim had said that you did a lot with the organizing, you and your husband. And you're also a singer, performer, producer, and you were born in Venice and worked in Barcelona, teaching and producing and performing. Wow, what a background.
I've been moving a lot. Yeah, I'm from Venice, actually a small town close to Venice in Italy. I lived in Barcelona for many years. And I went vegan actually 2.5 years ago. And this year I just felt that being vegan was not enough for me. I really wanted to do something else to distribute and to show what better choices we can make for us, for the planet, for the animals. And so last year I started this music project called Inanna, which is all about nature and animals and the environment. And then I really wanted to get involved into something practical to help an organization. And I met actually Elam Orion, our director, at a vegan potluck in December. And then he sent me a message, hey, do you want to come to the first meeting? Shall we organize this together? And my husband and I got involved, even if he's a little bit busier, but I did most of the work in the end. But yeah, I've been helping with entertainment and participants and sending out all the newsletters and communications. And it's been fun. We're very close to the event, just 2 weeks to go.
Yeah, let's look at a clip from wow. How does that make you feel? Kim, I want to start with you here. When you saw that, what was going through your mind?
Well, actually, I'll note that is a brand new video that just came out today, early this morning, or was it yesterday? But in any case, someone graciously made that for us, and I started it thinking, oh gosh, these poor animals. I ended up crying. It's such a moving video. Unfortunately, you can't play the music that comes with it, but if you listen to it at some point, the music is sang by one of the ladies. I can't think of her name at the moment. She's in Texas, and it's such a moving song with the photos. And I see myself in there a couple times. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I see a lot of my friends in the LA area, but then it shows moments from all over the world, and it's very moving, and I can't wait to watch it again and cry again. If you need a good cry, watch it. But it's also very exciting.
Well, I think people might cry a little bit when they see some of the clips, but I definitely agree with you and recommend that people do go and watch it with the original music, I should say, and for the reasons you said, because it's copyrighted, we can't play it here. But you definitely should get the full effect. And I hope I created a little bit of it. I just wanted to show a really upbeat thing here for a moment. So when we got to 2020, wow, when we got to 2020, 65 countries are participating. Kristina, how does that make you feel? You've been working on this for 5 years, I think, or something like that. However long, how does that make you feel when you see that and those numbers?
Well, I feel like it's home. This every year participating and seeing some similar friends and making new friends. It's a tradition now in my life, and yeah, I just feel like this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. And I know every year grows. New cities. We have someone who works with NARD who will contact folks and friends from all different countries. And that's why every year we grow new cities. New people want to start this tradition as well. And it's an international phenomenon.
Yes, growing and growing. Anybody else want to add to that? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know, I just feel this feeling of hope because I'm seeing changes that are made in the way people are aware of the power they have to really do the right thing and to stop harming animals, to go vegan. And I think it really starts with awareness, because the more awareness we have, the more awareness is out there for the plight of these animals and everything they go through, the more we're going to see people actually enact the change that they want to see in the world, which is to live a violence-free life. So, and that starts with taking violence off of your plate. So when I see all of these cities joining in, to me, this is so hopeful, and this just fills me with reassurance that it is going to be okay, and that all of this hard work that we're doing to spread the word and to be the voice for the voiceless is for something. This counts for so much, because we have so many people on a global level on this platform who are joining us. So we're not alone. And a lot of times it feels like we're alone in this fight for animal justice, but we are not alone. There are so many people out there all around the world who are standing with us.
I think I was talking to someone about that yesterday, about how you can feel within your family group. You can feel so isolated because so many people aren't vegan. But now the way it's exploding, particularly because of the coronavirus and the outbreaks in the wet markets, and now in the slaughterhouses closing. Does anybody want to comment on that? What about you, Annalisa? Would you like to comment on that?
Sure. Yeah. Also, for me, the experience of changing countries and seeing what happened in Italy and Barcelona, and now here, witnessing all these incredible changes just in 5 years, 10 years. I feel that NARD really represents what happened in these past 10 years, going from one city and then 10 and then 20 and now 65. It's exactly the same thing. In Barcelona 5 years ago, I could only find soy milk or maybe just one kind of vegan burger. And now it's exploding everywhere. So exactly as Jane says, it gives a lot of hope for the planet and for the animals. And it also makes you feel that things can change fast, because when you're in it, it always seems so slow. Of course, for the animals, it's never fast enough, but it can go fast, and it's going very fast. So
I'm going to show a clip of I really like this clip because it shows everything that happens at NARD, from the sadness. I mean, when you participate, this is my 5th, I think. I wasn't there. I think I started in 2016. So
Which
that would only be
city?
4th.
Was that Venice Beach?
Yes, we talked about that, Kim. Remember? We talked about that. Yeah, so, but what I was going to say, that during that whole time that you're there, you go through so many emotions. You laugh, you cry. I don't know that you laugh, but you feel, there's the heartwarming moments. There's really sad moments. You come together, you feel so much unity with everyone there. And like you guys said, there's so much hope for things changing. We're seeing things change. Let's watch another clip. I want to show this little clip of Mo.
We all know why we're here. We're animal rights activists, and we're confronted with a slaughter that sort of even defies rational understanding. As mentioned, the statistics are horrifying. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of land and marine animals killed every single year by and for humans. And when I was getting ready to come here, I was thinking, there's an old quote that 1 million deaths is a statistic and 1 death is a tragedy. And it's really important to remember that we use these numbers, hundreds and hundreds of billions, It's numbers we can't even conceive of, but each one of those creatures killed by and for humans, apart from destroying the environment and destroying us, they were all individuals.
Kim, I saw you standing behind Moby. Of course, that's the singer Moby, who we all know and love. But Kim, you were standing behind him. What were you thinking at that moment? What's going through your mind?
Moby has a way with words, and that was his second time speaking at NARD as a main speaker during the ceremony, and he's just really good, and it was very emotional. He was holding a sign, and I went and took the sign for him just so he could have his hands free. But he's good. He knows how to really reach you and make you cry.
Yeah, that's for sure. And like anybody else want to comment on how well, I know you ladies, this is your first NARD, but I'm sure you've been to protests where you've been really moved and for the animals. Kristina, you were there last year. How do you feel? What goes through your mind when you're talking about this stuff?
Being involved in NARD, I think one of the best things is having this bond in a team, and you work hard, you have to rely on each other, and seeing everybody come together. And there are last minute emergencies, there are things that are unexpected, and we just all come together. And that is a great feeling. And that's another level of, camaraderie and hope for just humanity. Like, we work together, we work well, we trust each other, and we're all working towards the same cause here. So it's just, like I say, it's a feeling that I call it's home. This is where I want to be involved with, this type of feelings, this type of emotions, and this kind of humans in my life. So that's how it makes me feel.
And who wants to address this? Maybe either Jane Elizabeth, would you like to address what can people do to get involved? How can they get involved? What can they do to help out?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So this year with NARD, it's a little bit different because of COVID. We really had to take a step back, pivot, just like everybody else with any other business or any other cause. So this year we had this opportunity. It was either do nothing or take advantage of the opportunity at hand and put together the most amazing one-time only global online event. So that's exactly what we did, because the animals need us whether lockdown is on or not. And so we decided just to go ahead and pivot, not really knowing what was going to happen. So this year, instead of having each city do their own event individually, we are all coming together to do an online global event. So we have an event page. People can get their tickets. There are only a limited number available. So we don't have room for the tens of thousands of people who probably want to be involved, but we do have room for about 1,000 people. And I think at least half of those tickets are gone. So you're going to want to get your tickets now. It is free, but you can join that way, and you can join all of us organizers. We have a lot of celebrities that have agreed to come on and participate as well, which is super exciting. And we have musicians from around the world. This is going to be, like I said, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be involved with a global NARD event. So that's how people can get involved. They can also donate, because this is a nonprofit group. So we really do rely on the donations of people. If they have $5, that counts. Anything counts to help, so that we can do things like print T-shirts and banners and raise awareness for the animals. So that's how people can get involved. And we're just excited to see anybody who is able to get a ticket to this event and show up.
Okay, so Annalisa.
I was going to add just to that too, that there's one more way that folks can help, and if we can add that link to produce such a huge event and all over the world. Well, we also rely on a lot of people who are generous and donate to this cause every year. Every expenses that you can imagine, printing T-shirts, posters, even for an online event, and getting promotional things ready. So there's a link that I hope we can post later, where everybody, no matter where you are, what you do, even if you can't join in, you can always help, and with your kindness donate to National Animal Rights Day.
Right. And what's the link? Where should they go? Is it we'll obviously put it up. Could you state it?
Yes, so
Is
we
it a
put
long
it in the
link?
comments. We get put in the comments section. I think Annalisa put the link to the
Okay,
Giving
great.
Grid. So I don't
Oh,
know
the
how you
Giving
want
Grid,
to
right.
post that. Yeah, on this.
And I
So,
wanted
yeah.
to add that another way to get involved is actually starting your own NARD chapter in your own city.
Yay.
If there is no NARD in your city, you can actually do it. You can go to the website www.thenard.org, and you will find a little section that says start your own NARD chapter. So any city that doesn't have NARD can still have one, and next year we will make it even bigger.
And next year there'll be 66 and more. Yeah, Kim, go ahead.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Annalisa. That's a great thing to bring up. You know, just have your own NARD elsewhere. I just wanted to give you a little history on NARD. As I mentioned, it started 10 years ago by our founder, who has been mentioned, Elam Orion. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us today. He would have, but he's so busy interacting back and forth with more than 60 locations this year. And I wanted to tell you, he started it in New York when he lived in New York back in 2011. And it was something he had seen similar, something that Animal Equality was doing in Spain. And then he moved to New York and he started his own little thing. And there were like 14 people at the first one. And then he had another one in 2012 in New York. Then he moved to LA and he brought it to LA. And as we've all said, it's been growing and growing ever since. And it's just amazing. You know, next year it'll probably be 70 something people.
Oh,
I mean, 70 something locations, sorry.
We hope so. I just wanted to read a couple of the comments here for you ladies. We have Shelly Petrosky-Watkins, who has always participated and been involved a lot in NARD. People are opening their eyes. I'm grateful to NARD for spreading awareness around the world. Carol Sarbano, yes, it's so easy to feel isolated when people around you aren't vegan. All of you give me hope. She said, all of you give me hope, and I just buried her. Well, anyway, we give her hope, but that's good. But I want to play another video. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, and thanks for watching. But you give us hope as well. Let's play another clip, though. And again, that is from the movie that just came out. Kim, you look like you're getting emotional a little bit. Do you want to tell us what you're feeling right now or what you're thinking?
Yeah, you know, people are holding deceased animals, you might have noticed. And I know from experience, some people don't want to be around that. And they have said, oh, you know, when you're organizing NARD, they say, oh, are you going to have animals this year? And if you say yes, some people might say, oh, well, I just can't attend. And then other people, like actually Moby, I mean, prefer to have the animals there. It really makes a difference. You see an actual being. Sadly, it's not an alive being, but it's a being that was sentient and, you know, had a life and might have had a miserable life. And then here they are deceased. And so we give them a memorial and we have a funeral for them. Then we do a cremation for the ones that we did use in the ceremony, but the ceremony really is for the billions and billions of animals. One thing I noticed Moby had said in the speech we listened to, he said something like 200 million or something per year, but actually that statistic is more per day. The latest statistic that I heard of was more than 200 million per day. Animals are killed for us to eat. And if you throw in the farmed seafood and stuff, it's closer to 300 million. I mean, it's just ridiculous. If you think of every single second of every single moment, there's animals being, you know, basically kind of living a torturous life and being murdered just so that we can have a few moments of pleasure in eating them. And it's very heartfelt. And I mean, it's very sad. It's It's not fair and it's not
Right.
necessary. We're all vegans. We're all, you know, we live happily, healthy, wonderful lives without eating animals. And we wish that more and more people would do the same.
Yeah, and this is a good time for Jane Elizabeth to come on and talk about how it affected your health and how it changed your whole life. You want to address that, or you had something you wanted to address also?
No, it was actually really, thank you for that. And it was actually related to exactly what Kim was saying. The thing is, we don't have to eat animals or animal products or byproducts in order to survive. And as a matter of fact, if you truly want to thrive, you're going to take animal products and byproducts off of your plate, because eating animals is cruel to them. And some people will never make that connection. The thing is, it's also making human beings sick. So yes, my story, I went vegan for the animals actually, because eating animals never resonated well with me. So I took them off of my plate to align my behavior with my beliefs. And it completely changed my life for the better. So over the course of 18 months, people have seen this story, I'm sure, but I lost over 80 pounds. Wow. And finally got into the best shape of my life. I'm 39 years old, so I'll be 40 at the end of the year this year. And the biggest thing, though, isn't about the weight loss. The biggest thing is that I finally feel like I'm living the life I'm supposed to live. So I'm actually living the life to really shine a light on the fact that people don't need to eat animals in order to thrive. And I'm showing my daughter what it means to live a compassionate, cruelty-free life. And that gives me hope for future generations, because we are creating the world we want to see with every single decision we make. And one of the biggest decisions we can make is to take cruelty off of our plates and off of what we wear, the products we use in our house, you know, makeup, anything like that, because it is about the animals who are killed for food. But the thing is, animals are also killed so that people can have quote unquote fashionable clothing. They're killed and they suffer, they're tortured for experimentation to see if things are safe for humans. And the thing is, testing on animals does not mean that things are safe for humans, because we metabolize things in an entirely different way. So on a scientific level, it makes no sense to do that. So it's completely unnecessary, outdated, and it causes so much unnecessary harm and death to animals. So yes, I would say
Yeah, sorry about that, but wow, wasn't that clip amazing?
And in his face, that's exactly how we all feel. He's so beautiful and so expressive, and everything you see in his face, in his eyes, that's how we all feel. Once you make that connection, you're never going to go back.
Annalisa, what do you? This is your first NARD, so what's going through your mind? You've seen the footage now. You've seen some of it. What are you thinking? How are you?
So it's my first NARD as an organizer, but I was there last year, and I have to say I just participated, and I was there for the ceremony and the march. And so absolutely, yeah, it was just amazing. And for the first time, I have to say that I didn't feel as lonely as I thought I would be as a vegan. So these images, they really bring me back to last year. And it was so emotional. We were just these hundreds of people marching together with these animals, honoring them. And for me, it's always been so hard first to be vegetarian and then vegan, because a lot of people tend to not understand, friends or family. I felt very scorned also when I was little, being vegetarian in the family. So for me to find this new family, like chosen family of all these people that understand what I feel about animals and the planet and kindness and how we should treat all beings, it's really very heartwarming. So I hope that many more people will join the cause.
Yes. Kim, you're nodding your head. What are you thinking? What do you?
Yes, I mean,
what do you want to add?
Well, I would just say I had been vegetarian for many, many years, like 20 something years. And I thought I was doing my part, I'm not eating dead animals, but I was still eating cheese and some other dairies and, occasional eggs or whatever. And it wasn't until I started hanging around a particular friend, and she once said to me, well, you hear most people say that the dairy industry is even more cruel than the meat industry, and that that struck me like, what? How you're just taking milk from a cow? I had no idea. So, and then I went to my first NARD on Santa Monica Beach, and that really made me emotional. And I went to NARD in June. That July, I went vegan, and 2014, and I never looked back. I've never felt better. I have so much energy. I still have a lot of friends in the community that I live, that my kids grew up with who are not vegan. I love all my vegan family, as Annalisa is mentioning, you all included, and so many more. And but with my vegan friends, my non-vegan friends, my animal eaters, as I call them, they, I'm always healthy and energy, and they get sick, they don't have energy. It's just amazing, a world of difference, just not eating animal products. And I just hope that more and more do it.
Yeah. Kristina, what do you want to add to that? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, lots. And what I'm really happy about is the fact that there are a lot of family and friends around us, all of us, and slowly over time, they're exposed to things that we share with them and events that we bring them to and things we post on our Facebook. And I found that many of my friends have started to go vegetarian and stop eating meat and gone vegan. And I hear that every day. In fact, this morning I had a friend from a long time ago, and he actually called me today and said that he saw a certain movie recently and it just changed his life and he stopped eating meat. So
what was the movie?
The best news. It was called The Game Changer.
Oh,
and,
okay. The Game Changer.
I've seen it. Lots of friends and family. I've sent the post, the movies to a lot of friends, and so things like that. That's what's encouraging, and that happens all the time. And we should be hopeful because people are definitely opening up their eyes and their hearts to the change.
Annalisa, what have you found in terms of the changes going on? What have you noticed? How has it changed for you in terms of how people are adapting to more vegan and plant-based food? Do you notice that?
Yeah, I definitely notice, even with the people and friends or family that are not vegan, but they are becoming more and more open to vegan restaurants or even vegetarian food, or at least discussing things that before were like, no, taboo, completely, we can't talk about it. And I see that there is this ongoing discussion also sometimes on social media, and I think it's great because before, for a lot of people, this was just considered a very closed niche or something that was just a fad or about to just a fashion, But now the discussion is really, really there, and for so many reasons. I mean, we've literally poisoned ourselves with all these industrial foods and factory farms and those processed meats and dairy. We have poisoned the environment. We're polluting like never before, climate change. And so I think that everyone from their angle, be it for health reasons or for the planet or for the animals, I think a lot of people are coming into this discussion now. So that's why I think it's going much faster and makes me really hopeful.
Jane, what do you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, I just agree with everything everybody said. So first off, the vegan family, like Annalisa said, is a chosen family, and I have never felt more welcomed or supported than I do with this family. So I want to just express my gratitude to everybody in the vegan community. Also, to kind of piggyback on what, maybe piggyback isn't the right word, maybe, I don't know, but to kind of popcorn off of what Annalisa was saying, maybe pigs do give each other piggyback rides, so maybe it's still okay. Anyway, whether people are, they resonate with the plight of the animals, or maybe from a health standpoint or from an environmental standpoint, I think at this point, vegans for the most part are meeting people where they are right now. And that's a really important thing for people to understand, because some people will connect with the animals. That will resonate so loudly with them. But for other people, they won't quite get that connection, and they won't make that connection. So, in order to reach them, we have to see where are they right now. So maybe it's the health benefits that will resonate with them. And they say, well, I don't want to be sick anymore. I see all of these diseases that run in my family, when in fact, it's not diseases that run in families, it is habits that run in families. And so when you drop those bad habits of eating animals and animal products, you will start to see those diseases kind of disappear. And from an environmental standpoint, we have people who go vegan for the environment. And, there's no bad reason for going vegan. The animals don't care. They just want you to stop eating them. So I want to celebrate all of that progress.
That's right. And where everybody is in their journey, we want them to feel like, hey, we all ate meat, or at least I did at one time. And I went through that whole epiphany about cheese. One of my colleagues, I was at a faculty meeting, and one of my colleagues goes, I just had a baby and I would want to kill someone that tried to take my baby away. Imagine being ripped from your mother. And I was like, what? So it's true. There's a lot of lack of awareness about it. And by having these dialogues with you guys, with having Nardx and all of these other wonderful events, it really is making a difference. Let's watch a couple more. I think we saw that one again, but it bears watching. Do you guys want to talk about, who would like to talk about the celebs that come and the fact, what's it like at a NARD event? It's kind of interesting to me because you get people from all different walks of life. Does anybody want to address that? How you just touch so many different people at these events? We kind of talked about it a little bit already. So if you don't, we can go on to something else.
Kim is probably the best one because she's been to the most events, and she's probably the best one to address that.
Go ahead, Kim.
Oh, thank you. Well, as far as our celebrities and our activities for this upcoming event, please do speak to Jane and Annalisa. But regarding past ones, we get people from all over. We have dedicated people who come from San Diego each year. And as far as, from the other side north, all the way coming to LA. And we've had David Carter and Jean Bauer and Dotsie Bosch, and we have dedicated followers. And I want to acknowledge our longtime volunteers or even organizers. Shelley Petlinsky Watkins is one who was an organizer for many years now, a longtime volunteer. I'd like to thank Lindsey for volunteering for 4 or 5 years in a row. That's, it's great. Sarah Tala has always run the check-in booth for us for many years. David Rutan, AJ Jibdiah, Shelley Dahl. We have so many people that just come constantly and help, and people that come from all over to participate. And maybe Kristina, would you like to say anything about? Actually, Kristina and I met at our first NARD together, I think.
Yeah, so, definitely this is a place where you meet really great people and great friends for life. So I hope everybody gets a chance to participate some way, and you will meet amazing people working on something that you can look back and be so proud of, that you came to this community and everybody embraces each other. And at the end, we get this important message out to value and respect animals throughout our lives.
Right. And the sad suffering they go through is unbelievable. But we also had last year, we had Joaquin Phoenix, we should mention, right? And Rooney Mara, they were also participating, as well as in the past, Moby participated. So ladies, Jane or Annalise, which of you would like to address? Who's going to be on now? How about you, Annalise? Who's going to be coming on this year?
Sure. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about that. First of all, I wanted to say that this year it's very, very different because the event is global. So a lot of people that maybe would have not participated in a local event, because normally every city invites their own celebrities and speakers and performers. So this year it's gone worldwide. So we have people from all corners of the planet. So can I drop some names for this?
Sure.
All right. So we're going to have James Aspey, Australian activist that everybody
Tell people
knows.
about, tell who he, what his background is a little bit, because a lot of people may not know. Does anybody want to go ahead and talk?
I know about him that he was actually silent for a whole year for the animal cause. Yeah. So I don't know much more, but I know that struck me when I read about him.
I don't know for sure, but I read something also that he was formerly a soldier of fortune.
Oh, really?
And he was a meat eater, and he thought people that talked about not eating meats, he scoffed at them. And I forget what his epiphany was, but I think it was partially for health, for just to be even more fit and more badass and everything like that.
Yeah.
But
so
but it's
that's
interesting.
Fun. And then we're going to have Damien Mander, the founder of the International Anti-Poaching Foundation, also with an incredible history. He was a sniper and he was really not vegan at all. Actually, he was hunting animals before. But now, he's the founder of this anti-poaching foundation, and he's actually training these teams of women also. I don't remember in which countries. I don't know if it's in Tanzania or I don't remember exactly, but they are anti-poaching squads. So they're really contemporary heroes.
Yes, I know about the black mambas. I've heard of those before, and they're super effective. As far as anti-poaching. Jane, what did you want to add?
Yeah, and they're all vegan. So there's a show coming out on the National Geographic, so we have to stay tuned for that. But Damien had a hand in that show, in that movie that is coming out. So that's really exciting. And that whole army of anti-poaching heroes, they are all female and they're all vegan. We also have Ingrid Newkirk from PETA, so she's amazing, and we're so honored to have her join us. We have John Sally, and he was on New Day New Chef. He is a three-time I should say, national championship winner, NBA winner. So he's fantastic and has been such a strong voice for the voiceless in the vegan community. So we're really, really honored to have him, and so many other people as well. So we have Tori Washington. We have some members of the Vegan Strong team, which is great. So Sergeant Vegan is joining us. Vanessa Espinoza will be there as well, which is super exciting. Will Tucker will be there. So we have so many people already in there. This list is going to keep growing and growing because, we have people who are going to participate. We just don't want to tell you everybody right now, but for the day, it's about 2.5 hours, and it is literally packed full of performances and speakers. And, it's going to be kind of similar to what you're going to see in person, but of course you have to adjust things a little bit to have it online. But this is going to be just an incredible event. I hope everybody can join us because it is really going to be a very moving global event.
Great. Let's watch another. Did we see that one already? I'm so sorry. I've got these mixed up here a little bit. Did you guys? We saw that one, right?
I think so.
It's a little bit because they're a little bit similar. I have one more I wanted to show. Did that one? That's not the one. Okay. At least. Great. So I do have some photos. Let's just look at a couple of these, and then whoever wants to jump in. Kim, do you want to talk about the animals? You did a little bit, but talk about, why it's different when the animals are there. I think you mentioned that already. You said it's not the same. Can you address that?
Well, of course, when you have animals right in front of you, it's a good visual. Besides that, many of the people holding the animals, they just can't hold their feelings back, and they're crying and crying, thinking about these animals. I remember my first one on Santa Monica Beach. I had mentioned David Carter. He was sitting in the sand. David Carter, who's known as the 300-pound vegan, he's a professional football player, sitting in the sand, holding this big giant. I think it was either a big giant pig or a big dog. I can't remember at the moment. And it was such a visual. He's right in front, and then all these other people holding other animals behind. It really brings it to heart. What we're doing. There's a nice big pig. These pigs are heavy too, and for people to hold them, it really means a lot to them.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
As you mentioned Joaquin and Rooney, silly me, I didn't mention them about coming, but so the first year that Joaquin joined us, we didn't have animals that year. And so he was just, one of us in the ceremony standing there. But last year we did have animals, and we had Joaquin and Rooney. And I went with Rooney to pick out, the little animal she was holding. Joaquin was holding a chicken. And so Rooney and I went back to the tent, and she just wanted something small. So she ended up with a little, I think like a little mole, a little, just a little gopher type, tiny little animal.
Squirrel or chipmunk or.
Yeah, and it really meant a lot to see famous people like the two of them, participating just like anybody else, and having feelings for these sentient beings.
Yeah. Look at this picture, ladies. This is the one. And there's the slogan. That's the slogan for NARD, Our Planet There's Two. Kim, do you know, or Kristina or anyone know where that slogan, who wrote that, how that came about? Can anyone address that?
I can.
Sorry for coming up with a question I didn't prepare you for.
Oh, that's okay. No, I mean, that's a simple one. That's the nonprofit, and Elam Orion started that nonprofit. And not only do we hold NARD every year, we keep a list of animal sanctuaries on the website, and we occasionally have events. Well, here in LA, we have events which Kristina has organized some in the past years, and we do one other thing that I'm drawing a blank at the moment. Either of you other ladies know?
Kristina, talk a little bit about what Kim was just saying that you do, those events you do. What are they? How do they work?
Oh, with the animals, or just sort of in
parties?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you on that. What?
I said the fundraising and the parties and stuff.
Oh, sure. Right.
Not this
Yeah,
year,
so, like going back to my other point about this event, requires a lot of financial assistance. So we came up with ways, and I was trying to come up with fun ways to do fundraising. So we've had like a roller skating fundraiser, where folks came out and we found a fun roller skating rink to go to. And some people brought their own roller skates, and you can rent them. And it was just a chance to bond and have fun. And at the same time, we raised funds for NARD. And we've had parties at friends' homes. We fixed up, so it was like a discotheque, and it was colorful lights, and we catered great food, vegan food. And the home was beautiful inside with a fireplace, and it was sort of close to February, Valentine's, and we decorated it, so it sort of had a theme, and people had a really good time. It was still cold out, but we had a great, beautiful fire going on, and people sitting around and dancing, and the host for the party, it was his home. He had a band and they were playing. So there are just some really fun and creative things that we tried to do to raise funds for this event. And in the future, when we get to all gather again, look for some of these great and fun parties, and all for a good cause.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, I heard of some of those, but not all of them. I definitely want to get involved in that. I also want to say that on June 7th is Sunday is when NARD happens at 8:30 a.m. And if you have not gotten your tickets yet, you should go right away. Is that right? Because apparently there's limited amounts, a limited seating. Yeah.
Only 1,000 people. We can only have 1,000 people joining in. So if you don't have
Wow.
your ticket, you need to get it now because they are selling out. It's free, but you have to sign up through Eventbrite. Then you get the link. You have all the information there. Then we'll, let you in the day of the event so you can really participate. We'll be hosting some live watch parties as well. So if you don't get your ticket and you really want to see it, we will stream live. We will have people hosting watch parties as well. So, if you miss out, that's okay. But I mean, wouldn't it be better just to be a part of it? So get your tickets now, today. We will have the link here for everybody who wants to, be a part of that. This is a really momentous year because, this coronavirus, I'm not grateful for the virus, but what I am grateful for is the opportunity to really take a step back and realize how capable we are of pivoting and adjusting and creating something so beautiful and so meaningful.
That's absolutely.
And don't forget to wear your shirts.
Oh, wait, let's stand up. Those that are wearing their NARD
shirts. Yay.
And you ladies will have yours soon, too. Yes. So I just, actually, it's we only have a few minutes left. I'm going to let everybody go. I'm going to go around everybody, whatever you want to kind of wrap up with. I'll start with Kim because she seems like she's got something on her mind right now. So go ahead, Kim.
Thank you. I had drawn a blank a few minutes ago, so I wanted to add that also our planet, there's two. We have the animal rights Declaration of Animal Rights, and every year we roll it out, and everyone at the events sign it. All over the world they sign it. And one year Amy Jean Davis and I said the declaration. This year I think we have maybe Genesis and Vegan Evan and one other person maybe. But I just wanted to thank everyone for joining us. Thank you, Lindsay. I also wanted to, again, acknowledge Elam Orion for doing all of this every year. And we also have a couple of other organizers who couldn't make our interview here today. Just want to acknowledge Brandon Ryan and his lovely wife, Jonica Grace. They're known as Roots Like a Tree, and they've been doing a lot of work for us, as well as John Hayes. We also have Lisa Bauer and a few other volunteers, but those are organizers that I wanted to acknowledge. And thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Kim. Kristina, you're next. Go ahead. Whatever you want everyone to know for your last statement.
Sure. So, this is our way of sending out this important message. And I just hope that it inspires everyone to come up with your own way of going about how to help animals and how to just learn more about what's going on in the world with animals and the environment and with the climate change. And it's all intertwined, and with your own health, too. So all the information's out there. And I hope this event is something that can inspire you when you see us and see what we're doing, what we're saying. And I hope you take on this challenge and do something your way in your life, and with the time and resources that you have, you can definitely make an impact.
Yeah, I think somebody was saying a moment ago that they had become vegan, then they realized that wasn't enough. You have to be a vegan activist because we need change to happen quickly. Okay, so who do we have next? Annalisa, go ahead, your turn.
Sure. I just wanted to remind everyone that every city can actually RSVP through Facebook. Every city has its own access. You will find Nardx Los Angeles access, for example. But then you will have to go through the little button that says tickets, and it will send you to Eventbrite, so you can actually receive all the information to participate. Very important to do that, otherwise you won't receive the Zoom link to be part of the event. And yeah, I just wanted to say, come, show up. We're really trying to provoke this cultural shift for humans. Humans have been on Earth for a very long time, and we've had different habits, but I'm a deep believer that we can change, and now it's a moment for all of us to change, for us, for the animals, and for the planet. So even just showing up and being with all these activists and the vegan family will make an enormous difference. And then 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 always becomes a billion or even more.
It
Thanks a
grows
lot.
exponentially, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So I was going to say there's a lot more of us on the planet today than there was, and it makes it even more imperative, right?
Sure.
So Jane,
Hey,
go ahead.
well, Lindsey, thank you so much for having us on. Really,
Thanks
we
for being
appreciate
on.
your time. I want to say a big thank you to all of the organizers around the world who have made this year's event possible. And a big thank you to Ayla Marian, again, for starting such an incredible global movement. So this is absolutely amazing. And I want to say that now is the right time. People are waiting for somebody to tell them when is the right time to do the right thing and to make choices that create the kind of world you want to see. And now is the time. Right now is the right time to do the right thing and make changes that are going to impact the world in a way that will create the future we want to see for not just us, but our children and our grandchildren and all future generations. And it will be a kinder place for the animals, better for the environment, better for our health. And so now is the time. And one thing you can do right now is to look into how to start going vegan if you haven't done so already. Ask for help. We are all here to help you, encourage you, and support you. Join us on June 7th for this event because it will be incredible. It is going to be moving. And if you have ever needed any type of inspiration to start your vegan journey, this is the perfect opportunity to do so.
Yes, and there's so many sites you can go to. Veganuary, 21-day vegan kickstart, so many sites. Name a couple. Anybody have another one they can think of? Tim, go.
Tryveg.com.
Tryveg.com. There you go. Okay, ladies, we are wrapping up for tonight. We want to remind everybody to share out this video, and you can still have a watch party. Those of you that are watching, if you want to help, you can have a watch party. You can share out information. You can tell your friends. So please do so. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see the event, and I love you all. So be well, and we'll see you at Nardx. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
all.
Bye. Thank you.